Hello, you're listening to Count Richard von Coudenhove Kalergi. Today is Sunday, 15th of October. Rather 10 degrees with a sunset at about 6:30. And I'm up here at the Captain Noel Lemass monument. Now, this monument had a little bit of significance to me. As a 14-year-old child, I was only permitted to cycle up to this, have a few sandwiches, and then return back to Rathfarnham. It used to take me an hour to get from the Yellow House up to the viewing spot above Tree Rock. So this has always been on my radar, and the fact that on Friday was the 100th anniversary of the discovery of his body, I thought it was only fitting that I come up and make my own little tribute to this gentleman. So Noel Lemass was born in 1897 in Capel Street. He was the eldest of 7 children, with a younger brother, Sean, who was Taoiseach from 1959 until 1966. He was in the GPO where he was wounded, and he spent 3 months held in Dublin Castle. During the Civil War, he was on the anti-treaty side as an intelligence officer, but fled to England and returned in the summer of 1923 with the reassurance that nothing would happen to him. On the 3rd of July 1923, he was abducted from a hardware shop outside Exchequer Street, and near the spot his body was found. He was shot 3 times, had a foot and some fingers removed. Now, the echoes of the Civil War still linger on in this country 100 years later, and here we are now, 3 years into a social engineering and psychological civil war, with stakeholders and anti-Irish NGOs interfering in the running in this beautiful country. And I think at this stage that we really need to question our unblind support for the World Health Organization, the UN and the EU. Now, just to give you a little bit of an idea of where the location actually is, it's on the border between Dublin and Wicklow. So down to my right, although you can see it here, is the Glenasmole Reservoir, which means the Valley of the Thrush in Irish. And Bornabreen, the reservoir, has 2 lakes there, which services roughly 35,000 houses. Now, in the distance there you have Gipure Mast blinking, which is the source of the River Liffey, and its 82-mile journey through the 3 counties of Dublin, Wicklow and Kildare. And on the far side of the hill you have the village of Glencree, where you have the German war graves, which contain 134 graves of Germans, mostly Luftwaffe and Kriegsmarine, but also, interestingly, 6 Germans who were prisoners of war during the First World War. Now, on the way up I couldn't help but notice the number of sheep grazing either side of the road. All had red spots on their back, so they've probably recently been trimmed. So I suppose that's just my little tribute up here, but also to warn of the dangers of allowing too much power. And in the words of one of my favourite writers, Henry David Thoreau, an American writer who wrote a pamphlet called The Importance of Civil Disobedience. And in that article he states that the government that governs best is the government that governs least. Thanks for listening. It's worth a visit up here, even just to spend a few quiet moments and enjoy the beautiful scenery, although I was hoping to catch the sunset, but it seems to be hidden behind the mountains there. Good afternoon, good luck, and God bless.